Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Ari. On this episode, next one in the Law of One series, have aliens been with us since the beginning of civilization? Well, this all really depends when you believe civilization actually began, and whether you believe, as Ra claimed, as I talked about in the previous episode, that they visited Egypt and South America about 11,000 years ago. And they visited these ancient civilizations to try to teach the law of one, which was quite unsuccessful as the people actually use this information for evil, for power over others, and service to self. But if you believe that they actually visited, what if they never left? What if they've been with us this whole time? Wow, wow, wow. That is a crazy thought to think, and let's get into the quote by Ra from the Law of One, Book 1, page 71. Quote unquote, "We found that the technology was reserved largely for those with the effectual mind/body distortion of power. This was not intended by the Law of One. We left your peoples. The group that was to work with those in the area of South America, as you call that portion of your sphere, gave up not so easily. They returned. We did not. However, we have never left your vibration due to our responsibility for the changes in consciousness we had first caused, and then found distorted in ways not relegated to the Law of One. We attempted to contact the rulers of the land into which we had come, that land which you call Egypt, or in some areas, the Holy Land." Well, again, there's always so much to unravel in these quotes. The advanced technology that Ra allegedly gifted humanity with, the information how to heal with crystals, different quote-unquote time-space objects with certain ratios, allegedly the pyramids, but the people who ended up taking control of this advanced technology and information were the ones who wanted to rule over others. These are the people who wanted power, the people who wanted to be quote-unquote at the top of the pyramid, at the top of the hierarchy, to be better than others, to have power over others. And this is a story as old as time. We see people have information in our society that could be used to help others, but they withhold it for profit, for gain, and that's just a story as old as time, allegedly back to even 11,000 years ago we were doing this stuff, which is pretty funny, but also pretty sad at the same time. There's a very fine line between funny and sad. And it was interesting to note that Ross said that the group that came to South America 11,000 years ago, these ETs that visited, didn't give up as easily. They returned, but Ra didn't. And I think that these stories are fascinating, even if they aren't true. They show how much that we should and we can care for each other. If we make mistakes and do things that have unintended consequences, we feel like it's our responsibility to help those people because we may have actually helped cause their suffering. I think that it's also extremely interesting. Ra says that it has never left our vibration. First of all, what does that even mean? What can that mean? They have never left our vibration. They weren't here with us physically, but here in vibration. And I think that, at least my theory is that this goes back to everything is energy, everything is vibration. Maybe they've been watching over us from the distance. If you've heard of the Watchers, it might be something like that. Maybe they've been trying to teach us in a different, more subtle way. Kind of like channeling, kind of like we're all in tune, we're all vibrating at a similar wavelength on this frequency of Earth. And I know this all sound maybe pretty crazy if you never really come into contact with this material. But Ra felt bad. They felt bad that the changes that occurred in a negative way here were partially due to them coming and sharing the Law of One. People would have never figured this stuff out on their own. All this crystal healing stuff, how to build the pyramids. And it really shows us that with great power comes great responsibility. There is a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that is extremely powerful. If you've ever heard the phrase knowledge is power, it's not exactly true. It's applied knowledge is power. And you can use this information, you can use this knowledge that you gain to help others, but you can also use this knowledge to gain power over others. Which will you choose? Will you use this information to help spread love, to help share your light? Will you use this information just for your service to self? And it's also interesting at the end that they talked about how they attempted to contact the rulers of Egypt or the Holy Land at that time. That's what some call it. How did they contact them? Did they contact them through making structures, making the pyramids? Did they contact them through a big megaphone in the sky? I really don't know. I think this is absolutely fascinating, but let me know what you think. I want to hear your opinions. Comment down below. Have aliens been with us since the beginning of time? Have aliens been with us since the beginning of civilization? Did aliens have a huge role in actually creating civilizations and helping humans learn and grow and evolve? Let me know what you think. I'm very open-minded. I don't know if I have an opinion either way yet, but I do believe, based on what I've read in the Law of One books, that aliens have visited the Earth pretty recently in the past 10 or 11,000 years.